Team China and Team Japan, women's team, are always the two best teams in the world. Each time, they will play against each other in the final. This is the final of women's team in 2025. Let's see who will win.
The D-Day of Championship is finally here. A day that promises passion, precision and pure sporting drama at Kalinga Stadium of Bhubaneswar, India. Our deepest appreciation to ITTF, ATTU, the Table Tennis Federation of India, Odisha Sports and Youth Services, and last but not the least, the Odisha Table Tennis Association for hosting Asia's Best in Bhubaneswar. Their commitment to excellence in facility and infrastructure and hospitality has set the new benchmark for sporting events. And now we have in women's final, it's a battle of powerhouses. Japan versus China, a strong rivalry where China would be setting up the stage on fire with revenge. Last year, Japan won over China with 3-1. And with I would like to introduce my co-commentator, Nishad here. Nishad, would you like to tell something about what you saw yesterday and what you're expecting today out here?
Well, the highlight of yesterday's matches was, of course, the semi-final or the men's semi-final between Japan and China. Each of those 5 matches going into 5 games, and we were on tenterhooks right through. So expecting something similar this time as well. Hopefully with the finals, maybe the stage as well produces the kind of table tennis that we all want to see. So that's what I'm expecting, and hopefully we get to see something really great from Japan and China. Now looking at some of the matches that are in store today, let's have a look at the lineups first, shall we? It's going to be Japan who are going to field Honoka Hashimoto first up, and she's going to take on Wang Manyu. Miwa Harimoto is going to play second, and she's going to take on Sun Yingsha. And Hina Hayata, she comes back into the side and she's going to face Kwaiman. And then of course you've got a straight up swap if it goes into the 4th and 5th game, that is. So these are the lineups, and as I can see that Wang Yidi is not playing for the Chinese women today. We can hear the cheers, and also, just telling our viewers that, we've changed our commentary position because it's the big day. We have now come to ground level next to the tables just to soak in the atmosphere. So it's incredible to be here.
And the game has begun. We could see the first point is taken by Wang Manyu here.
That was some good work there by Wang Manyu. Well, she has stamped her authority early on the final here. It's only the initial phase, but you can just sense that she seems a little confident, because you could see that there was a bit of a celebration after that point, knowing that she's really worked hard for that one.
Quite a unusual pair though. Normally what we have seen, the offensive player typically starts the match and the game. But over here, Japan thought to introduce their chopper here. Hashimoto.
It's interesting that they have gone for a chopper right now, and just to give you a perspective of what these two have done earlier, these two have faced each other on 2 occasions, and on both occasions Wang Manyu has emerged victorious. Their most recent being during the Europe Smash in Sweden this year. Wang Manyu won that 4-2.
Hashimoto to serve. Oh, quite a surprise by Hashimoto here. She can completely bring the twist and turn to the game. She found a little easy ball there. Came back heavily on that topspin on the backhand side. Manu now to serve. 4-2.
Wang Manyu is the world number 2, the 26-year-old. Won 16 titles in her career. Just goes out. You could see those chops coming in. Now, what would be, from Wang Manyu's perspective, that is, what would be the change in strategy for her?
You mean to say from Hashimoto's strategy, because Wang Manyu is already leading right now?
No, because she's facing a chopper, that's why. This is a good rally. Really engaging, enticing, and ultimately it's just hit the net and gone out. You have a smile on your face there, Sachin. There's something that you've definitely spotted, and I'll leave the stage to you.
So you ask about the strategy. You must have heard of 3 P's of marketing. The same I would apply over here. This is patience, power, and placement. With chopper, you got to be absolutely play the game with so much of patience there, and you can see Hashimoto is obviously loaded with patience there, because that's how they kind of develop their game and surprise you with that attack. Manu now suddenly losing onto the point here.
That chop just going a little bit wide. But if you're a chopper, does it get very predictable if you continue to do that?
I would say there are few balls which could be predictable by nature there, but overall what depends upon is that how you use the ball, how whenever the ball comes in front of you. Look at this, long rally there. Okay, that was quite a drama on the table there. So much of curve, so much of twist and turn. Finally, Manu managed to get that mistake. And with this mistake, Manu leading by 3 points, 7-4.
What good placement. Intelligence. Absolute intelligence there by Hashimoto. Just the way that she changed her strategy towards the end and placed it. Wang Manyu didn't expect that one.
Absolutely. If you see that the way she snaked the ball from the bottom of the table, Manu was completely taken as surprise. Manu, bit patient here.
Well, she's world number 2 for nothing, of course. Well, she will be patient because all the top players combine all those qualities that one needs.
Hashimoto to serve. Quite a high toss there. Oh, it was a power smash by Hashimoto. That's a perfect state she set up for herself. A deep service in the center, and then with that loaded forehand. Now you could see drama is going to unfold in the first game. It's 7-all. Lead has been equalized. Manu to serve.
That chop goes on to the net. Wang Manyu now inches forward to 8-7.
After that pin drop silence, Manu got an applaud from the audience.
Well, Sachin, I would also ask you to look back, because where we are now, we've got the stands behind us, and quite a few Chinese supporters have also turned up for this big match.
Oh,
Wonderful.
quite a block. Quite a block by Hashimoto. Manu was playing power game this time. Couple of times she was hitting the ball on down to the deep backhand there. But this time, Hashimoto came with the loaded backhand. 8-all.
Hits that out wide. Every point being celebrated by Wang Manyu. And if you look at what Wang Manyu did in the semi-final, she had in fact got a 4-gamer against Kim Neong, had lost the first game and then bounced back to win it comprehensively rather. Well, a loopy game. It's very loopy out there.
Manu finally gave up to the patience of Hashimoto. Beautiful game. Quite an exhibition of topspin and the chop there with 9-all. At a point it looked like they're practicing on the table. No way, it's a serious match here.
Nine all, and we can just sense that with this final all to play for, both players just raising the bar. It was Wang Manyu's dominance that ultimately triumphs. You know, she was authoritative during that rally. Hashimoto kept chopping, but you also felt that she was on the defensive there.
Yes, Manu, on this particular point specifically, she really was really hard with the toss spin she was playing there. Manu for the game point. Manu is absent. Oh, bit of a tough luck for Manu. Not, she would be saying, not at this point. Maybe somewhere in the middle, but not towards the end. I worked really hard.
It's still early, so it's fine. In fact, if there's some disappointment in the Chinese camp, I'll tell them to look back at yesterday's match of their male number one, Wang Chuqin. You remember what happened? Lady Luck smiled on him when it mattered the most. In the 5th game of the decider, of course. And that's allowed Hashimoto to get the advantage now. This is interesting.
Now this is a bit of a tricky situation for Manu. Okay, what this time? Hashimoto surprised Manu with that sudden backhand. Now this is an innovation from the Japan side.
And with that, Japan have opened their account and they have gone 1-0 up early in this women's final. The defending champions have come out spirited. You may have felt that they would have been a little a little defensive, but sometimes that's all you can do. Keep defending and show that grit, and I think that was what was the hallmark of Hashimoto's performance in that first game.
Yes, truly speaking, Manu was completely in control of the game in the first half. She was leading there. She was not certainly expecting that that Hashimoto will chase back, equalize the lead, and finally win that point. You could see these beautiful little fans there.
Well, you've been talking about them and you told me you'll go and ask them for one of them. Have you done that?
I tried in the morning.
And what was the reply?
They didn't understand what am I asking for.
Now we are ready for the second game. Wang Manyu is going to serve, and Hashimoto 1-0 up, and she is of course confident.
Manyu was surprised with that snaky stroke from behind the table that Hashimoto did. Certainly with that one stroke, she's really breaking the rhythm of Wang Manyu.
Or just tried to hit that with a bit more force, but that's gone wide.
That's a backhand that surprised Manyu in the last game. Rallies are increasing.
Well, has that landed on? Why was she putting her hand up?
I guess, oh, beautiful sportsman spirit here. Hashimoto pointed out that I guess ball touched the table and only. Now you could see it is not just the highest level game there, but it's the highest level of sportsmanship there as well. I guess this has been the shortest point after quite a while now. It's 2-all, Manyu to serve. This game is certainly going to be very, very important for China. A bit of a change in position of serve she has brought in. Okay, tough luck for Hashimoto. She beautifully set the stage for her. She literally pushed Manyu with a deep push to the forehand. Came back with it down the line forehand, missed out. Manyu got another point here, leading with 4-2. Towel break. Certainly that little fraction of a break is so important to ease out your mind and your presence on the stage.
Yes, it's a small breather, all right.
Now that's quite of an effort by Manyu there. This time she managed to push Hashimoto behind. She was on top of each and every rally that happened. Four points lead.
That's gone out, and it's going to be a bigger lead by the looks of things. Yes, it's 7-2 to Wang Manyu, making a good, strong statement after losing that first game. But in the first game, you could just sense that Hashimoto had in fact come from behind. But
now
she isn't going to come back from behind if she's going to play shots like that.
Absolutely, I know. That was exactly a photocopy of the stroke with which she got the first game. This is the longest rally, although. Now, again, after a long time, Hashimoto got the point. It was the longest rally of this game so far. 3-8.
It's a little bit of a comprehensive performance here by Wang Manyu, just the way that she has been able to move forward in this particular game. Now on to 9-3 and on course to equalize here.
Oh, this game, Manyu looks like that she's completely charged up, using the core energy to the best. A deep forehand in the middle and then finish with the backhand. Absolutely. Hashimoto seems to be losing the rhythm in this game. Such a confident lead Manyu has. And with this point, Manyu is certainly equalizing the score a bit completely. This game has been a game changer for Manyu. All this while she has been playing little soft spin, and Hashimoto was waving that spin really. But Nishad, in this game, Manyu hit back at Hashimoto with the power toss spin from the rally one and not allowing her to come back in the game.
Yes, comprehensive performance there by Wang Manyu, the world number 2 according to the latest rankings. And really, you've got to see how Hashimoto is going to now respond, because that's why I asked you that question. Is it because you are just chopping and chopping and chopping that you become a little bit too predictable?
Yes, you do get predictable, and that's the reason Manyu was completely in the rhythm of the game there with that power stroke she is playing, and completely pushed Hashimoto behind the table so that she has more room to play, more strokes to play, and it would take some bit of time for Hashimoto to come lean back on the table. By that time, the game has slipped. We could hear fans from China. They've especially flown for the finals.
Yes, it's really incredible to see that the fans have turned up to support Wang Manyu and her teammates, of course. And that cheer just coming from behind where we are sitting. And as we've had a change in our commentary box today, great to be here at ground level, just soaking in the atmosphere as we get going in game number 3.
Oh, Hashimoto could see that the ball has slowed down. She wanted to capitalize onto that opportunity. No way. Manyu is in control.
Completely in control so far. Apart from that first game also, in fact in the first game, it was only towards the end that Hashimoto managed to win it across, and here's her point and she gets off the mark in this third game.
This time Hashimoto managed to pull that shot. 1-all. Again, Manyu, athleticism at her best. Hashimoto tried with 1 or 2 trying to attack there. Well defended. Hashimoto with that power block absolutely gave no room Wang to come back. Let me remind fans and viewers that last time Japan has beaten China with 3-1.
On to the net there. went for the chop. In fact, it was the block by Wang Manyu that really created that point for her.
Yes. Towel break here. As per the rule, you can only take after every 6 points. Quite a work here. A bit of applause here for Wang. So much of thinking is going on before every point. Hashimoto has been surprising Wang quite often. This is a change. You see how choppers have brought in. All the players and choppers who are watching, you could take back and add the stroke in your syllabus. Lot more attack Hashimoto is trying. She knows that I am getting a bit predictable here, something Nishad you were saying.
Yes. That's what I wonder, because if you know that this player is going to play in a certain style and irrespective is going to chop, sometimes it can get a little bit too predictable. Now she tries to flick, but then I think she's just flicked it a little bit too much down and it's gone onto the net.
Yes, this is where, if you could see that Manyu was in absolute position there. Hashimoto is getting more and more predictable with her backhand tap she is trying to play. Manyu to serve. 6-4. Oh, Manyu made no mistake. Though it was an easy stroke, she could have killed that ball with that power shot, but no way. She's not taking any risk here. She knows that she is in absolute control of the match.
You can sense that control. In fact, Sachin, if you ask me, that control was there even during the first game. But in that first game, it was just Hashimoto inched ahead towards the end.
And luck favored her.
Luck can only favor you this much, but you need consistency. Consistency beats everything. Consistency beats luck, intensity, everything in the world.
C for China, C for consistency there.
Well, that is exactly right. I mean, when we talk about consistency, you look at China because of the systems that they have made, and it is built on that consistency. While their practice sessions are intense, they just turn up. This time, though, a change in strategy from Hashimoto. Now, Sachin, this is something that's made me happy, that she has thought that, okay, I'm going to make a change here.
Roles were reversed here. Hashimoto was attacked. Quite a high toss there.
Oh, it was anticlimactic in the end. For a moment, you would have thought that rally would have gone on and on. But then ultimately, Hashimoto finding the net. But Wang Manyu has got a very good margin at 9-5, 4 points ahead.
Looks like that this game is moving towards Manyu. Okay, she wanted to come back with a ripping backhand. Bit of a tough luck there for her.
Yes, and Hashimoto has got to wait. Or rather, Wang has got to wait to move to game point.
Okay, Hashimoto has been troubling Manyu with that swing that she gets from bottom of the table.
And now, on game point, here's an opportunity for the world number 2 to go up 2-1 in this final. Wang Manyu goes 2-1 up. She may have lost the first game, but thereafter it has been a performance that has been convincing. It is one that has signified precision, and China now inching ahead in this final early. But remember, it's only the first match, and it's Wang Manyu taking on Hashimoto here. We've got a long way to go.
Both the players are in their respective coaches' corner. Now, players have they are completely well groomed in the match. They know the rhythm, they know the environment, they know the strokes there. But I'm sure Japan would definitely want this point so that they can still be in this particular match.
Well, those fans are out, and Japan now possibly just asking Hashimoto to calm down. It may have been also strategic that you don't have, of course, Harimoto playing first up. She did play first up in that semi-final, if you will remember. She also played first up in the quarter-final against DPRK.
Looking at those little fans, I really want to see that certainly it can increase the sale of these little fans here. Apart from the fans of table tennis, they're going to order this from the e-commerce websites.
You know, every team has got these rituals to get into that comfort zone. So now it's going to be Wang Manyu. Obviously, she'll be in a comfort zone only after she clinches this game and goes 3-1 up to take China to a 1-0 lead. And she has taken the initiative very early. She was forceful, powerful in that rally. Hashimoto, a lot of times when you're chopping Sachin, that time you are mainly on the defensive, right? And you're allowing maybe the opponent to continue to put in the initiative of sorts.
Let the rally get over. She was in the deep backhand there. Manyu is completely pushing herself to the victory, and for this point, a long rally there, she pushed Hashimoto behind.
Onto the net. Now it just seems like after the first game, it is Wang Manyu all the way who has just clinched the control of this game.
And yes.
Yeah, no. she's the captain. And it looks like she's now demoted Hashimoto to be the co-pilot.
Hashimoto could see that she was so beautiful with that art. She had perfected that art of that snake shot that she placed from behind the table, and she waved that spin away. But she's losing on to that rhythm, and she could see that she needs to cool down, use some ice in that strategic timeout.
Yeah, a bit of a cool down, you can say, and you can also see her teammates around her. Just a while ago, in fact, Sachin, I just saw, now that we are here at ground level and we get a better perspective of things, I just saw Miwa just walk away, and I think she's gone into the practice area. However, the disadvantage of being here is that we are not on the third floor, so we cannot look at the practice area and tell our viewers what's happening. But I'm pretty sure she must be warming up, getting ready, and trying to ensure that she is at her best later when she is going to come out there, and it's going to be a battle worth watching as she's going to take on Sun Ying-sha.
World number 1 with the yellow shoes, I would say mustard shoes.
Well, you know, this is one of the great things about table tennis I've liked, and also in modern sport with all the apparel getting better, you know, You've got these wonderful shoes as well across court, and as we are getting ready here to resume after the timeout, Miwa Harimoto has just walked back into the arena and is joining her teammates on the bench. There she is. The timeout hasn't seemed to have worked. At least there is no immediate return.
Quite a lead Manu has got. You could see the way the confidence is playing when you're up. Hashimoto. A cheer up by Chinese fans here.
Yes, and I really want to ask what their chant is exactly. I only could get Wang Manyu. These are very specific chants.
Okay, the defensor has turned into an offenser now.
Oh, well, in that first game, Sachin, you were talking about fortune not favoring Wang Manyu. Look, it's favored her now, and she won't mind that as she goes 6-love up in this fourth game and well on course to take it 3-1 rather.
Bit of a certain leap that luck has been there, but she has earned it with this lead 6-0. Manu is in no mood to give any point to Hashimoto. This time she has changed the strategy, completely pushing deep into the middle, and that's the position she knows that Hashimoto won't be able to chop so effectively. Good strategy.
Interestingly, last year when the final was played, Wang Manyu wasn't a part of the Chinese lineup that took on Japan. Oh, what a shot. Finally, she's opened her account and got that 1 point. Sachin, on another tangent altogether, we are in the midst of some Chinese fans who have turned up and they've got their chance. And I believe that, India is on its way to becoming a better sporting nation. Of course, we've got wonderful events coming here. Fans have got to do their bit. By being creative with their chants. All we hear is India, India, jeetega, that's it. They've got to be more creative. Just hit that out. Just hit that out. A second point there. And we hear those chants yet again. And this is also another thing that you've got to give credit to the Chinese fans. That she's lost a point, but they're cheering harder. Because you want to lift her spirits.
And that's a pattern I'm noticing that I'm going to talk to viewers just after this point. Now the pattern is very simple, that whenever Vanu gets a point, you hear more claps from the fans. But whenever she loses the point, that's the time that chant has come up. So maybe that has been the overall thing. The Chinese fans out there
tried to lob that one. And those claps are resounding here at the Kalinga Stadium. Moving ahead to 9-2, and she is only 2 points away from winning this first match in the final. That was powerful. And now she is on match point. This is a comprehensive performance if ever there was one.
certainly with this point. With this point now, a storm of attack has taken down the wall of defense. It's match points, 7 match points for Wang Yu.
Yes, it's 7 match points. There was a momentary pause, of course. China go 1 love up, and it's courtesy the world number 2 Wang Manyu lost the first.
I am feeling cold there while you can't see her on the screen.
Read more about table tennis on my blog, pingsunday.com. Get free ebook and coaching advices. See you in the next video.